Yeah, peeps, it's Terse back on the old spot box once again, and I'm here to make a little declaration about the Second Amendment in America. And a lot of people in America, even some liberal-minded people in America, are going to say that what I'm saying is a load of shit. But I've just got to say, if the Second Amendment is such a protector of the American people, if you remove the right for American citizens to own a gun, I'm not just talking about your own protection. I mean, if you think that you need to have a gun to protect yourself against the tyranny of your government, and if it was removed, that suddenly your government would impose horrific sort of impositions upon you. How come it hasn't happened in Europe? How come the whole of Europe isn't a totally tyranny-ridden governmental agency? How come in the United Kingdom my government hasn't tyrannised me because I don't have a gun? I don't feel tyrannised. I mean, I don't feel like, at any moment the black helicopters and the ATF or the EPA are going to bust my doors in and, drag my family off to a camp somewhere. We haven't had guns in my country for decades, tens of years, hundreds of years, hundreds of years, centuries. It's not been the right for any British citizen to possess a gun, and it wasn't taken away from us, and we haven't been dominated by our government. I'm not saying my government isn't as fucked-hearted as yours, but my populace, my neighbours aren't as fucked-hearted as yours. I don't get shot when I walk up to the neighbour's door and shut the door, looking for some information. For instance, I'm not sure if this is absolutely certain, but I believe that in America, a UK citizen was driving through an American city and got lost, and he stopped and thought, well, I'll go and chap a door and ask for some directions. And when he chapped the door, he got shot and killed. A simple visitor to your country, supposedly you would say, well, he chapped on the wrong door, but how the fuck are you meant to know it's the right door if you're a visitor to a country? When you come from a country where you can chap on any door, and people will either answer the door or not, or answer the door and say, I don't know and I don't want to talk to you, go away, go and ask my neighbour, or whether they're going to open the door and shoot you. You know what I mean? It's like fuck-tarded, right? You're a fuck-tarded nation. The Second Amendment doesn't protect you. The Second Amendment, in fact, makes you a violent, fuck-tarded nation. You murder people for no fucking good reason, other than you can because apparently your laws allow you to fucking just shoot people. Innocent people, because they chapped your door. That's a fucking fantastic, civilised way of dealing with things, isn't it? Yeah. Fucking fantastic. The Second Amendment is a load of fucking bullshit. It was meant to protect your nation, and now it's turned into one of the most destructive fucking ordinances you can have. Every member of your society is allowed to have a gun and use it. You're even making laws to allow it easy for people to own a gun and use it, and have no consequences for it. Stand your ground. Well, this guy came up to me and he spoke to me in a foreign language. I had no idea what he was saying, so I shot him. And for all you know, he was asking you, can you tell me where the nearest garage is? Can you tell me how to get onto the nearest highway? I've got lost. I'm looking for someone in your area. I know I'm on the right road, the right street, but I may have the wrong address, but I don't understand how you number your houses, so can you tell me how to find 335? Bang, you shoot him dead. What the fuck is that fucking normal? Who the fuck is that fucking normal, or Christian, or... You guys are psychopathically fucking fucktarded, man. Second fucking Amendment. Fuck your Second Amendment. America would be a better place to visit if you just banned guns. All guns. Nobody should have a fucking gun. Nobody. No fucking private citizen should have a fucking gun unless they've got a reason for it. You're a hunter, you go shooting or hunting, yeah. But you shouldn't be able to carry your gun about with you in the fucking street. You should only be able to have your gun either on you or in your car during hunting season. When it's not hunting season, it should be locked up in a fucking safe. But you believe it, well, I've got to protect myself against criminals. Then have fucking laws that stop criminals from getting guns. That means you can't sell a gun in a car park. I wouldn't just say that, any gun sale needs to have a background check. I would say you can't sell a gun unless it's through a fucking gun shop. You can't have private sales. You can't have gun fucking shows. If you want to buy a gun, you have to go into a shop, just like when you buy drugs, or get drugs from a chemist, you know what I mean? It needs to be a licensed fucking premises. That would certainly cut down on gun crime. I'm just saying, What people say, well, America is cultural for us to own guns. I understand that. But in Africa, and in, I can't remember the name of the island now, but there's places where it was cultural to take the head of people you fought with and killed, And the headhunters of some island somewhere in the middle of the ocean, near the Pacific or whatever it is, yeah. Headhunters. It was their culture to take the head off of people they fought with, It was their culture to eat the dead, We don't understand that these cultural ideas are fucking stupid, detrimental to the society, But you think your culture's so fucking superior that the culture of owning a gun is superior to having a culture that's safe to live in. I'm sorry, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucktard. You haven't fucking evolved in the 21st century. You haven't even evolved into the fucking 18th century, you know what I mean? You've not evolved since fucking you were a primitive fucking ape. You've got to realise your society needs to develop, change and evolve. I'm sorry, America, but 1776 was a long time ago. You know what I mean? That shit is old. It's fucking old. And it's getting older. When are you going to wake up? I just don't get it with Americans, man. Guns, cultural necessity. A civilised necessity is rule of law. A civilised necessity is education, healthcare, the right of people to have a job that pays a fair wage, that allows them to finance their household. That to me is that's more important than the right to own a gun. The right to financially be secure through the work you provide, the input you put into your society. That's important. If I work 60 hours a week, I should be able to afford to put food on my table, pay my rent, pay my electricity bills, my gas bills, save a lot of money, pay for my kids' education and have a little bit for retirement. If I'm working 60 hours a week, I should at least expect that. And yet you get people in America who work 8 hours a week and are still below the poverty line because every single job they've got pays them less than what they need to cover their expenses just to be at that fucking job and put food on the table. The conservative idea of people working for themselves, being responsible citizens, I don't think entails owning a gun and putting up with poverty because it's good for the 2 or 3% at the top of the fucking economic scale in your country to have more money than they can ever spend in fucking 100 lifetimes. I just don't see that as part of my scheme, my view of the reality of life. You know what I mean? It's not my view of the American dream or anybody's dream. It's a dystopian fucking vision. You can work your whole life, your whole fucking life, and earn less than a banker makes in a month. No wonder the big gigantic CEOs. You can work your whole life, make less than one person makes in a month. That's obscene. It's an obscenity. And it has got nothing to do with freedom. It's got nothing to do with normal competition. That can only happen through a twisted, perverted system that is skewed towards one person's idea of fairness, but has nothing to do with fairness whatsoever. There's no way that you, if you earn $1 billion a year, or $100 million a year, or $10 million a year, that's got nothing to do with fairness. You couldn't make that money if it wasn't for the millions of people who earn $7.5 fucking dollars an hour. You couldn't be rich if you didn't have thousands, hundreds of thousands of poor people paying more than what I would see as a standard for the shit you sell them. Over-sugared Coca-Cola, over-sugared fucking shit fucking, burritos, your crap fucking burgers with ketchup classed as a fucking vegetable. Yeah. I just don't understand how that works, you know. To me, it just doesn't fucking work. Doesn't scan, makes no sense. If you want to live in a society that makes that seem like sensible because you've turned yes to no and fair to fucking shit and balanced to fucking skewed, I just don't know how you can look at life. How do you look at life and see that shit that you're going through as normal? I guess it's a bit like those experiments where, you know, they have a jagged, spiky metal frame with food. You know, what you know, a milk bottle with a teat on it. That's the only sort of surrogate mother the little monkeys, little baby monkey can get fed from. And then you've got another soft statue monkey thing, you know, that it's cuddly and it's warm and it can feel comforted from. But it will go to the spiky, jagged thing that whenever it tries to feed, it gets jagged and stabbed, and you know, but it's starving. It's got to fucking eat. It's got to suck the milk. So it goes there and it puts up with being stabbed to suck the milk, and screams and bawls while it's sucking milk. And then it only goes to the cuddly, soft power, you know what I mean, when it's eventually, you know, bleeding and, you know, hurting, it goes there afterwards, you know. It's like, that's your fucking society. Your society is bleeding and gutting people and hurting people to make them think they're getting something. It's only eventually when they've got enough, they feel they can go and have the comfort, you know what I mean, on the other side, you know. And that's why you swing so far to the right. But it's only when you go so far to the right and put up with the pain and the anguish and the horrific fucking shit you go through. With your fucking fucked-hearted right-wingness. It's only then that it swings a wee bit back to the fucking comfortable of the left, you know. But every year it gets more to the right, until eventually you've lost the comfortable fucking hugging pole. And all you've got left is the jaggy, spiky pole that feeds you, you know what I mean? You put up with being fed through the pain, the anguish, the horror that is the American society at the moment. There's nothing nice about your society, America. There is nothing nice about it. Because all the nice things that you say, well, only America can provide. I'm sorry to say, you've already exported all the nice shit around the world. And we get it here, we get all the nice shit here in Britain. And we don't put up with the fucking spiky, jagged fucking shit you've got over there. Although now you're trying to export your jagged, spiky shit. Unfortunately, some of the people here like Thatcher and fucking Cameron at the moment, they seem to think the spiky, jagged shit is worth importing. Sorry. but it's not worth importing. We don't want your spiky, jaggy shit. It can fuck off. We took the best of America. We absorbed it, we took it. Some of your music, the movies, yeah, great. Some of your political ideas, fantastic. Some of your, financial ideas were great. But now we expect you to take over your gun fucking laws and your fucking fundamentalist Christian bullshit and your creationist bullshit and your fucking, detrimental bullshit on fucking science being bad. We're supposed to just swallow the whole pill whole. Is that it? It's like we can't say we want this or that and we don't like the other shit. We've got to take the whole fucking crap shit you're pouring down on it. We've got to take everything. Fuck you. You won't accept anything back. You won't accept any kind of social liability that your state needs to absorb from every other organised and financially capitalist but socialist sort of political system around the Western world. You don't accept any of that. But we've got to accept all your bullshit. You're fuck-tarded, man. You're fuck-tarded. We're fighting hard against the Muslims, the Catholics, the Protestants, the fuck-tardedness we get from them. I'm not just saying it's religion. I mean, some of these people, they're not even religious. They're just fuck-tarded people. They're fascists. They're not in religion in order to be religious. They're in religion to have power. A lot of the politicians fail to see this fact because a lot of them used to be businessmen. They want power, they want control. They're not there to do good for the people. They're there to get power and control for themselves. And I want to fuck those fuckers up. And you should be doing the same in America. The people who are trying to tell you they're doing right for you and you should worry about this and you should fear that, that's the same as religion saying if you don't believe in God you go to hell. Well, if you don't believe in the Republicans, you know what's going to happen? The Muslims are going to take over, the black people are going to take over, the brown people are going to take over, the Mexicans are going to take over. It's the same horror they put in front of you. If you don't follow my lead, this is the terrible consequences. And there's a load of shit. There's no terrible consequences. You're not going to lose your country. Not if you work it smart and make sure that the people who enter your country conform to what you believe an American should be. But I don't believe an American should be somebody who thinks that, no, I've got the right to have a gun, and if anybody shuts that door, I've got the right to open the door and shoot them. That's bullshit. If you had less guns, smaller army, less nuclear weapons, weren't paying so much money to corporations who don't need tax breaks or government financial aid, you would be able to pay for more police in the street, you'd be able to pay for more education, educating people not to be fuck-tarded, and you would have a more balanced, more educated populace who probably wouldn't need so many police officers, but having more police officers is better than having none. Having more fire brigades and, hospitals that would basically treat you if If you do have an accident and need treatment, as soon as you turn up at the hospital, they take you in, they treat you, they work you out. You know, if your society was paying for that rather than nuclear bombs and gigantic fucking runways and silos and nuclear submarine bases and and millions of American soldiers billeted all over the world and paying hundreds of millions of dollars to all these countries to let you have millions of soldiers in their country. All that money could be spent inside America, fixing your country, rebuilding roads, rebuilding bridges, rebuilding your hospitals, rebuilding your fucking education system, rebuilding schools. Why does Halliburton have to make $3 billion a year supplying your soldiers overseas? If they were inside America, Halliburton wouldn't be making $3 billion, and that $3 billion would go towards, do you know what? Yeah, your education system, your infrastructure, your roads, your railway, your bridges. Who cares if Halliburton gets rich? Do you care? If you're American, do you care if Halliburton makes another $3 billion this year? Or would you rather have that $3 billion be spent on building new bridges, replacing bridges that are falling down? What do you think? Do you think Halliburton needs to make that money? Do you think Halliburton needs to get another 2% or 3% corporate interest rate reduction? Do you think that poor kids deserve to have a meal so they're able to think without worrying, thinking, oh, I'm starving, I can't concentrate? Do you think maybe America might progress a bit more if the kids in school were thinking on their lessons and learning, rather than wondering whether they're going to have chips and some cheese when they go home, or a boiled egg? You know what I mean? What the fuck? You know what I mean? I don't even. My personal opinion, I don't even see any sense in even thinking about this. If I was to consider, do I want my government to spend another $120 billion on upgrading Trident or giving free meals to kids in school? It's a non-question. Give the kids free meals and fuck the nuclear bombs. I have got no question about it. It isn't a question. I don't even have to think about it. I want my kids fed and educated. I couldn't give a shit about nuclear weapons. Who the fuck are we going to fire them at? Oh, well, let's think about it. Who's the biggest danger to Britain at the moment? I don't know. Is it Russia? No. Is it China? No. Is it North Korea? Well, maybe. But I doubt it. Is it Iran? No. Is it, I don't know, is it America? No, they're okay. They're too busy shooting each other up. So who are we going to fire with nuclear? Who is Britain going to target with their nuclear weapons once we're upgraded? To be honest with you, I haven't got a clue. I can't think of a single country in the world that Britain should upgrade their nuclear weapons and then program in the GPS coordinates where we might fire them if anything kicked off. Who would we shoot these nuclear weapons at? I've thought long and hard about it, and I can't think of a single country in the world I would want to blow up with nuclear weapons. Not a single one. Not a single one. I just can't think of it. I've racked my brains, man. Who would we target with these nuclear weapons once we upgrade it? I'm sure my government must think there's somebody, otherwise they wouldn't be saying, they obviously wouldn't be doing it just because, these huge companies that, refurbish your weapons, have huge financial incentives to keep these weapons being upgraded. I'm sure they're telling the government, you know what, you might need nuclear weapons, but we don't really feel that you need to upgrade them because there's nobody in them. No, they're obviously saying, well, you don't know. Oh, you don't know. Who knows who's going to become the enemy in 20 years? You need to upgrade these for the next 50 years just in case somebody becomes a target. But I don't understand this. So there's no preferred target at the moment, but we should spend £120 billion to upgrade our nuclear fucking strike force, just in case sometime in the next 50 years some country becomes a target. Some country maybe threaten us. I just don't get that. I really just don't get that, because in the next 50 years the biggest threat that we face in the United Kingdom is financial, educational, cultural, definitely. So why should we be caring so much about spending £120 billion on upgrading our nuclear strike force when we're shutting down Royal Air Force airfields, and we're completely doing away with a lot of boots on the ground type of protection. I mean, we're just disbanding soldiers and battalions of soldiers all over the place. Oh, we don't need soldiers. If somebody thinks, we don't need soldiers, let's just do away with that whole battalion. That battalion that's existed for 400 years, let's just do away with that. We'll close it down. We'll never recruit any more Black Watch or the RHF or no. We just do away with that. I mean, the Lancashires, and we'll just shut them down and we'll just put it into the closet of history. But we've got to have nuclear weapons. Britain has never won a war in the world with nuclear weapons. It's never ended a war with nuclear weapons. It's never started a war with nuclear weapons. We've always fought our wars with ships, helicopters, airplanes and boots on the ground. So why the fuck are we shutting down the RAF? Why are we shutting down the Naval Air Force? Why are we shutting down, good Scottish ground troop regiments? Why are we doing that? Because I guarantee you, if we ever got invaded, we're not going to find nuclear weapons on, say somebody invaded the west of England, Cornwall. Somebody landed, 1,500 ships with 1,000 troops on each ship in Cornwall. Do you think we would fire a nuclear weapon on Cornwall to stop that invasion? No, we would need soldiers to rush there, and tanks and jeeps and trucks and helicopters, and we'd need airplanes to protect Britain. We're not going to bomb ourselves with a nuclear weapon. So why do we think that we should be able to shut down the recruitment of soldiers, the training of helicopter pilots and RAF pilots? Why would we shutting that down, but we want to spend £120 billion on rearming themselves with nuclear weapons? You think it might be political? You think it may be a political idea there, and got nothing to do with national security? You think it might be something to do with the politicians thinking maybe they wouldn't be invited to the G8 if they didn't have nuclear weapons? I'm just asking here, just asking this question, you know. Do you think maybe the British political hierarchy just think that if we didn't have any nuclear weapons, we wouldn't be invited to the G8, and the Americans would look at us when we spoke up, even if we were in the G8, and say, haha, what the fuck are you talking about? You've not even got any nuclear weapons. You think it might be something to do with that? You think it might be something to do with whether you've got big balls or not? Well, I tell you, Cameron's got the smallest balls in the world. He's a eunuch. Britain doesn't have any say because of its nuclear weapons. Britain has a say because of its economical position in the world, its economy, the fact it has one of the largest and well-known, well-renowned banking systems in the world. And there's something going on with the dissolution of the United Kingdom. I will go on and talk to that in a later video about the separation of Scotland from England, and the kind of conversation that's come up now about, well, Scotland prints its own money because it's part of the United Kingdom, but that won't be possible when it becomes independent. And I'll get to that at a later date. The Second Amendment's another bullshit. Paying for fucking, refurbishing the British nuclear strike forces, a load of bullshit. America doesn't need the amount of nuclear weapons that it has. It doesn't need the amount of ships and planes and shit they're never going to use. We just don't need that. We as people need to start to try and take control of our government and tell them, fucking no, you're not spending money on that when you're cutting money from this. We need to fucking supply money to our pensioners, through pensions. We need to supply money to our paupers through Medicare, or as we call it in the NHS in the UK. We need to educate our children. We need to feed our children. That above all else. The military can come second. The people in our country come first. And until the people in our countries realise that and start to speak out and say to the politicians, no, you're not doing that, because it doesn't help us. That's when you know that the world is changing. It's really fucking fast.